Irish Main Secretary Leo Varadkar told a plebiscite will be detained at the end of May. A declaration of the Irish lead added how the accurate day of the plebiscite would be established next a discussion and voice in Parliament, and could expand to previous June talk on Monday overnight following a long office meet. Varadkar told he would lawyer a affirmative voice to annul the 8 correction of the Irish Basic Law, that gives equivalent law to lifetime of the mom and the future kid. He added how he believed how the period had go to enable the social to do a judgment, and told how he was confident how the question of miscarriage had no location in the Irish Basic Law. I do not trust how the Basic Law is the location for manufacturing total statements on care, ethical and legislative issues. And question how is not dark and whites can never be explainable in dark and whites. I trust thee as a judgment on if we wish to go on to brand and criminalize our sisters, our company workers and our friends. Or if we are produced to do a joint act of management to show sympathy and sympathy, he told. Following stairs, the accurate tongue of the plebiscite has not yet been solved, but the project draft is anticipated to involve the regulation for miscarriage out of limitation up to the 12th 1 week of pregnant, on to Secretary for Public Health Simon Harris. Terminations history 12 weeks would be permitted just in extraordinary occasion wherever severe hazard to the female's public health or lifetime were found. The offered law would as well ensure for cases wherever a deadly embryonic anomaly is identified. Varadkar told how if the plebiscite gone, just doctors on a expert registry would be capable to dictate a care miscarriage, named as the miscarriage tablet, addition how above the counter, at demand accessing was not up for discussion. Varadkar has named for polite discussion through the range, confirming how the judgment would be hard for law to do. We've treated so difficult to get to the spot and we wish a really easy issue to the human beings, she told. We wish them to aware which the plebiscite is on, and it is up to the political community to explanation the act to the layman. The Against Abortion Rights Pro-Lifetime campaigning liberated a declaration inviting the by the government's ad as bad as nobody could include stipulated, the remove of legislative protect of future babies and provided for miscarriage on consumer demand. The team's representative Ruth Cullen named the plebiscite a really sad and severe time for our nation. Developing view 6 some countries ban miscarriage by all occasion. The nation's present miscarriage laws talk of the 8 correction, that voters adopted in 1983. Miscarriage was not legislative up how, but the laws were controversial and ignited discussion in the 1970s and 80s, as sectarian leaders led a campaigning to clip downward on the liberalization of Irish community. Most wish changing onto a latter Irish Times survey, 56% of Irish voters supporting changes to the 8 correction. It as well showed how 113 Irish members of Parliament and senators, a most, supporting the annul of the correction, time 52 do no. The some 52 were indecisive or chose not to tell. Telephone call to annul the 8 correction include been constantly increasing for year. In March, thousands of activists driven Dublin to a stop for the hit for annul gathering. In September, several 40,000 human beings rallied for changes to the 8 correction for the 6th yearly March for Selection, onto organisers. Irish MPs, however, include sold barbs in Parliament above the question, and against abortion groups include vowed to ferociously defend the 8 correction. Ireland's Association of Students had named on the by the government to conduct the voice in May. Proverb any after day would potential build impeding and reason a fall in the youthful voice, due to examination schedules and year holidays. Millions of our youthful human beings include not had the prospect to voice on the question, and perhaps it affects our next generations more than rather than any other, it told in a declaration.